Welcome back in. Kentucky has its fair share of Civil War history, a border state where battles often saw brother fighting against brother. In Harrison County, 2 major battles were fought. And as we approach America's 250th birthday, we are now getting an inside look at the war from more than 100 letters from a soldier to his beloved wife, all preserved and now brought to life through modern means, a website. In Cynthiana, the South Licking River winds its way through town. It's a community rich in history, and there's a place where all that history flows.
Civil War, there were 2 battles here. John Hunt Morgan, he came through here twice.
Inside the Cynthiana Harrison County Museum, you'll find more than 4,000 items that tell the history of the county and the people who have called it home. Larry Benson is a museum volunteer and Civil War buff. He will gladly show you to perhaps one of the most priceless exhibits the museum has to offer.
These letters, if you have one letter from that time period, you're lucky.
He's talking about a collection of more than 100 Civil War era letters written in the throes of combat. The letters were penned by William Bosler Jones, a Union Army soldier from northern Kentucky, and his bride, Mary Phillips Jones, who hailed from Harrison County.
They're 150 years old and they tell a story, and that's what's unique about them. They start with William's proposal to Mary Phillips and end at his the finishing of his service.
The letters dating back to 1860 were gifted to the museum in 2005 by the great-great-grandson of William Jones, who thought they should have a home in Cynthiana. The letters were opened, photocopied, and transcribed, and those copies lived in binders for people to see. Volunteer Karen Schulman-Bear says it was a gift that had to be preserved.
Over time, we realized that to preserve those letters was really important, and to just have them sitting in a box here in the museum was probably not the safest or best thing for them.
Skip ahead to another history-making time, the pandemic. Volunteers decided it was time to digitize the letters and make them available to a wider audience. They turned to a professor and students at Ohio University.
We needed somebody that knew how to build a website from scratch.
Will Lucky, an 8th grade social studies teacher from Cynthiana, used to be a kid who often wandered through the museum. He was brought on as a consultant to the project.
There's always something to learn about how people used to live.
The website is now live. You can see the letters, hear them read aloud.
I now sit down to address you this note in hopes it may be received in the spirit it is written.
And watch a very personal story unfold.
It'll tell courting, how they got together, how they became a husband and wife, how they talked to each other. And it gives that first-hand perspective of the Civil War that probably no one has seen in this way.
It is a project more than 5 years in the making.
Sometimes you start things and you don't know where they're going to end.
The end result? As this museum celebrates its 31st anniversary, they now have a very personal piece of history to share with the world. This has been a very tedious process, so not all of the letters are available online yet. The website is still a work in progress. For more on that website, which is live, and more about the Cynthiana Harrison County Museum, you can look for this story right now online at WKYT.com.